Hey guys, I'm Clint Flairwoo and welcome back to another Division 2 build video, and today I'm bringing you my 5-second cooldown pulse build, which is really good for PvE, whether it be solo or team. Solo, in my opinion, this is where this build will shine. For hard missions, challenging missions, whether it be bounties, or any type of PvE activities other than the raid, this is a very good build, and in all fairness, it gives you that survivability due to how the build is set out. Take a look at this, drop some feedback in the comments and let me know what you think of this build. Okay guys, here you have it. Here is my pulse build for PvE with a 5-second cooldown, which I'll demonstrate shortly, but we'll go through the stats first. I have 4 offensive, 4 defensive and 11 utility. My army is 223,132, so there's a healthy whack of armour on the build. My health is 80,000, which is decent, and my skill power is only 2,000. Okay, now we'll go through the gear. Tell me what you think. So I really like this build. Okay, guys, so the mask, it's a Gila Guard mask, which gives me 5% total armour. It gives me 23% hazard protection, 7% cooldown reduction. The creme de la creme on this build is a talent spotter, which gives you 20% weapon damage to pulsed enemies. You need 5 or more utility to activate this particular talent. This has been buffed from the previous patch where it was 10% weapon damage. Now it is 20% weapon damage. This is excellent. It really is. And if you're looking for a pulse build, you have to have spotter as a talent on your mask. It really is that good. In terms of the mods, skill power, explosive damage, and grenade damage. The chest piece. The chest piece is an Alps Summon Armament chest piece. That gives me 10% cooldown reduction as I've got the 2 items on the brand set. The second one is 5% skill power. The attributes, 476 skill power, 45,682 health, which is a nice, sexy whack of health. Talents, hardened, which is really good. And in terms of utility system mod slot, it's skill power with increased shock duration and increased kill XP. The defensive mod slot is health, extra incoming healing, and health regen. And the offensive mod slot is weapon damage, optimal range, and critical range. Onto the holster. The holster is the Wyvernwear holster, and I'm using this particular holster because it's really good, and this is top tier, so I've always kept this. It's a beauty. It gives me 7% critical hit damage. The major attributes are 427 skill power and 11% cooldown reduction. The utility mod slot is skill power with grenade damage and increased kill XP. As you can see now, there's a little bit of theme, so I've got some decent kill XP on the build to get me field proficiency caches faster, and you'll see some explosive damage and grenade damage because you can spam nades and do some great damage. And as soon as you've got your crossbow bolts, you can slap these on and they will deal more damage through the explosion damage. Really good. The knee pads. The knee pads are the Providence Defense set knee pads. It is skill power as the first brand set talent. The attributes are cooldown reduction of 10%. The talent, hard hitting, damage to elites of 10%. This used to be 15%. It's taken a slight nerf, but I'll take 10% anyway. The offensive mod slot is weapon damage of 2% and 2% optimal range. Now the gloves. The gloves, it's the Ultimate Armament gloves with cooldown reduction and skill power. And I've got plus 229 skill power and destructive, which is a plus 20% explosion damage. And again, why I've got that equipped is to make sure I can do some damage through my grenades and the crossbow bolts as well. And the offensive mod slot is weapon damage, headshot damage, and optimal range. And the backpack is a 511 tactical, which gives me 5% protection from elites, 2.5% critical hit chance, 14,898 armor, 267 skill power, and the talent safeguard. Killing a target grants 150% bonus to repairing and healing effects for 5 seconds. It can occur once every 20 seconds. This used to be an OP talent. Now it's a decent talent. This goes very, very well with my primary weapon, which I'll talk about very shortly. But Safeguard still gives you a really sexy whack of healing if you have your drone or chem launcher active at the time. And self-adjusting, which gives me plus 20% armor regeneration. It's all about that incoming healing and getting your armor back as soon as possible with this build. Oh, the mods. It's skill power, drone skill power, and firefly skill power. Let's take a look at the weapons. The primary weapon is an ACR. Again, assault rifle, health damage. It's 15.9k base, 650 RPM, 48 in the mag, 2.2 seconds reload time. But the talent I'm using for this weapon, which I really like, is Reformation. Headshot kills increase skill repair and healing by 50% for 20 seconds. So you'll see it very shortly. I'm rolling with a drone, and the drone will give me that nice increase from Reformation, and then you have Safeguard as well. So there's 200% healing effectively for 5 seconds. Again, that's top tier with this build. Increases your survivability tenfold. Given you're rolling with 223,000 armor, you are tanky. Skills work very well with this build, and then it also synergizes with the pulse to give you the extra 20% weapon damage. You can see where I'm going now with this build. Extra, that gives me more bullets in the mag, which again is key. Double duty while holstered. Reloading from empty gives you a 20% of your magazine back as free ammo. Can occur once every 30 seconds. And the mods is accuracy, rounds, critical chance, and damage to elites. Secondary, and I switch between these two weapons at will. It's another AR, and again, because I'm running with a survivalist, I get the boost to AR damage, but this is my utility weapon, so to speak, because of the talents on this that give me the extra amount of skill benefits. For example, the Military G36 talents, Perpetuation. Kills grant plus 5% skill duration, ammo and charges to the next skill used. Max stack is 10. So again, with this 5-second pulse, throw it down. If I pop it again after, which I always do anyway, so that will give me how many kills I've taken out with this particular the Military G36. If it's 3 or 4 enemies, that is an extra 20% based on 4 enemies. Skill duration, and they're all ammo or charges to the next skill. This is very good and works well in PvE. Allegro as the middle talent, rate of fire of 10%, and Rooted. And I love this particular talent. While equipped and in cover, all skill damage, which I'm not using any skill damage, so that's not an issue. But healing is increased by 25% for 10 seconds. Buff is lost when exiting cover. So I'm going to get that 25% extra healing for 10 seconds, and then obviously you have Safeguard, which kicks in. So either way, where I'm using my ACR with Reformation, or I'm using the G36 with Rooted, I'm going to get that buff when I take an enemy out, because the drone is active most of the time. This, again, synergizes perfectly to how I've got the build set out, and this is an excellent build I've used in PvE. Really good. Solo most of the time, and I had so much fun with this build, and it's not finished yet. So, the mods. Accuracy, rounds, critical chance, and damage to elites. Again, pretty much identical to the ACR. We'll take a look at the skills. We'll start with the drone. Cooldown is 78.9, and we all know if we dismantle it, we're going to get half of the time. It's 40 seconds I usually get. This could be better, in all honesty. However, that's what we're looking at for this build. Duration 231 seconds. This will be longer, given Perpetuation. Healing of 15,000. In terms of the battery slot, it's cooldown reduction 18.1%. The hull slot is armor repair at 18.8%. And the feed slot is 28.3% duration. The second skill is the pulse. What the build is all about. A cooldown of 10 seconds. We all know once I dismantle the pulse, you look at it is 5 seconds, which we'll show you shortly. No buffs, no strings attached. We'll see it go. As you can see, I'm in the light zone, so we'll show you very shortly. But 5-second pulse. Duration 120 seconds. So what you're talking about is this pulse is active 99.9% of the time, which gives you the extra 20% weapon damage 99.9% of the time, given it pulses enemies, and it does. So it is very, very good. The coil slot is cooldown reduction of 34.2%, and the housing slot is cooldown reduction of 22.3%. This could be better if I had slightly better mods as well. It could be even stronger. Okay, now we'll go through the stats on the build. So we've seen the gear talents, again, safeguard, self-adjusting, hardened, spotter, destructive, hard hitting. We've seen the weapon talents. It's all these here on the screen. Now we just take a look at the nitty gritty of the build. Weapon damage based on the ACR is 15,859 base damage, critical chance 7.5%, critical damage 32%. It's all about getting that increase of assault rifle damage, weapon damage, so to speak, of 20%. That's how the build is set out. Headshot damage of 56%. All weapon damage bonus 6%. Assault rifle damage 15%. This could be better. Don't worry about that. You're going to get the buff from the weapon damage and you will hit very, very hard. Damage release 15%. That is 10% on the build and 5% on one of the mods on my weapons. Armor is 223,000, so you are tanky with this build. In this matter, is all about survivability, so tank is the go-to option. Max health of 80,000, some nice health regen. 23% hazard protection is always good in PvE. And your skill power with a skill cooldown reduction of 38%. As a word to the wise, the cap is 60%, so don't go beyond that. There's no point. The drone skill power is 2248. And the pulse is 2021. And they're all the active Dark Zone perks when I go in the DZ. So this, for me, is a very, very good all-round PvE build. Have I used it in PvP? Yes, it's okay. At best, it is okay. Yes, you do get that extra bit of weapon damage, but I would perhaps go for a military P416 with weapons like with talents like Opportunist, maybe in Breadbasket if you're good at aiming headshots. Strained if you've got some decent critic chance on the build, but this is not how this build is intended. Is for PvE and rinsing through NPCs as quick as you can, and the pulse is superb. It's been buffed and it is really good now, so it's definitely worth giving it a go. And I'll show you now a bit of footage. Drop the pulse down. Let's just dismantle it. And there's your 5 seconds. And you can see there is your 5 seconds. And in terms of the drone, again, as I said before, 40 seconds. Let's do it again. Let's test it. 40 seconds. There you go. Guys, what do you think of this build? I found it exceedingly fun in PvE just because of the constant buff with the pulse, getting an extra 20% weapon damage, getting your skills back ultra quick as well. The drone is feeding you of armor continuously. I do genuinely love this build. It's really, really good, and hope you guys enjoy it. And again, I'm sure you can take it to another level because this is a template for success. But let me know in the comments. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. That helps me and the channel. It really, really does. If you want to see more Division 2 content, please smash the sub button, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.